Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me for another night of live. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. I am the voice for those who suffer in silence, guys. I am here to educate, empower, and encourage, guys. But after tonight's debate, I was almost scared to show up on social media tonight, but nonetheless, I am here and I hope all of you are well. As tonight, our topic is college stress on 10. College stress on 10. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, but first, I just want to do a little housekeeping before we get started tonight. I want you to, if you have not already been to our website, our online store, please go and take a visit. We have new inventory that is now in stock, and every purchase you make from our online store benefits our education programs offered through my nonprofit CWF organization. That website is www.bonfire.com/store/babes-tees. Again, that's www.bonfire.com/store/babes-tees. So all you have to do is click the link. It's in the description box. Go there and just, if nothing else, just take a look around. I've added some new stuff in today, and I put some other things back on the shelves as well. So go and shop away, and your proceeds from what you purchase goes to support a great and awesome worthy cause of education. Also, guys, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, hey Keisha, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, click the link and go to YouTube and subscribe. If you've already subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you know that I already have scheduled for a special live broadcast from YouTube on tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. and you don't want to miss it. So if you haven't already subscribed to YouTube and you want to continue to follow this platform, my platform, then please, 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 by all means, click the link, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you get those notifications there. Awesome, guys. So like I said, tonight's topic, it is of a special request: college stress on 10. So we know that our college students are having a difficult time right now adjusting to the many changes, not only in our world, but as it has also impacted our education system. Well, what about those college students who are already trying to juggle not only college but career and their children as well, guys? So I'm just here to shed light on that, kind of give some practical ideas or some practical suggestions that maybe they can implement to make the transition just a little more go a little more smoothly, or provide just some balance. So many of, hey Diane, how are you, honey? Many of you know that you know I graduated from college here several years ago, and I went to college while balancing a career, while raising my children as a single parent, and just I had to find that balance. And guys, no, I would not sit here and tell you any day of the week that that is something easy to do, especially in a time of COVID, in which has impacted our world. But I can say that it is possible, guys. I can say it is possible. So one of the things that college students are faced with, first of all, is financial challenges of, how do I continue to work? How do I make enough money? How do I make ends meet? while also trying to get this education to put my family in a better situation in the long run. Well, guys, I can say this. In order to balance out the financial strain that you may be dealing with while trying to get that education that's going to benefit you in the long run, it's going to take planning, it's going to take budgeting, and it's going to take sacrifices. So my suggestion as far as the financial strain that you're dealing with is to get you a notebook or a journal or sit down at your computer and let's really look at where your money is going. What are your financial obligations, whether it's from week to week, whether it's from month to month, whatever that looks like to you, we need to look at what your financial obligations are. That's first and foremost, okay? Every little bit matters. Then we need to look at what you have going in on a regular basis. What can you expect? We're not talking about overtime. We're not talking about putting in an extra shift. Just a regular work week, whatever that looks like for you. What do you have coming in? Then we want to go and look at where our money is going and where we can cut that cost. And guys, when I'm saying where your money is going, I'm talking about if you're eating out. I'm talking about if you're stopping at the convenience store buying donuts and soda every morning. I'm talking about if you're stopping by the drive-through once or twice a week. I'm talking about if you and the kids, just not enough time in the day and you're having to pick up something quick to eat. All of this matters. Even the gas you put in your vehicle. How much gas is it taking you to get back and forth, up and down the road for those that are still on site? And if it's online, we'll look at time management here in a minute. But we want to look at every dollar you have coming in, and we want to look at every dollar you have going out. Now, where I cut the cost financially when I was in college and doing certain things like that, where it caused my finances to be having to be pulled in different areas. Where I cut the cost was from a phone service. Your phone service, you don't have to necessarily have the $150 plan when a $40 plan works just as much and you're still getting the same thing. Okay, so that's one of the things you may have to sacrifice. You may have to look into some different phone plans. Okay, that's number one. Cable, that may be another place that you may. It's not a priority, guys. Where you get your internet service? What internet service gives you the best quality bang for your buck? And nowadays, we're on our electronics and things like that. We can watch TV right from our computers. It's not necessary to have cable going. That's extra money that you can delegate somewhere else to where it's important. Another thing we need to look at in cutting costs is wherever we're going outside the house for that fast food, that convenience store, all those funds add up. All those funds add up. So we want to look at cooking at home. Cooking at home. And I know some of you automatically said, I don't have time to cook at home. Crock pot cooking. Casserole cooking. Soup cookings. Okay, guys, it works. It works. It works. It works. Absolutely, you can get a good, nutritious meal right from home. Not only that, it's usually enough that you can pack for lunch to carry with you to eat for the next day while you're waiting for the next night's meal. Okay, so you really absolutely have to look at it for what it is. For those of you that need help in preparing that, it's real easy to do. Saves lots of money. When I make a crock pot dish, I'm making that dish and I'm feeding my family that meal, and then I have enough to carry over for lunch that next day, guys, and most of the time it costs under $5. And many of us are spending that $5 and then some when we stop at the convenience store to get that glass of tea and that burger or whatever it is that we do every day. So guys, it will really make a difference. Not only that, you'll find that you'll be full up quicker. You'll find that you're not as hungry. You're not really wanting to snack as much. Okay? So think about that. Think about that. Also, another thing, we spend a lot of money on bottled water and things like that. If you're not buying your bottled water in a bulk from a grocery store or something like that, all these snacks and stuff, like if you're not just getting it from the grocery store when you buy your groceries, don't go to a convenience store or anywhere else like that to buy it. Okay? Make the commitment to stop at the grocery store, get it included in your budget for your groceries, have it at home so you can pack it and take it with you. A little small ice chest, a little bag, whatever. It just makes things so much more convenient. That's the best place and the best way to stretch that finance. Also, if you're gone all day on a job and the kids are not at home, monitor your what is that? Central unit, central heat and air. Monitor that. Keep it on a set, comfortable setting so that the house is not too hot or not too cold when you get there. It will balance out and lower that electric bill as well, guys. Especially the way the seasons is changing now. Most of you will probably find that you don't even need it. Turn it off. Save that little extra money so that you can prioritize it elsewhere. All right, guys, so that's the financial side of it. So cut those things in your budget that's draining and nickel and diming your finances, okay? It's a must. Okay, time management is another place we really need to look at. That is balance. We have to find that balance, guys. Now, we know that this is one of the most valuable commodities that we have that we misuse the most, our time. So we need to really look at our schedule for what it looks like. That includes where we have to be gone taking the kids to their activities or their games, what they need to do, places they need to go. Also, not only that, but your school schedule as well. What does that look like as it relates to your work schedule? Are they conflicting? Are the schedules conflicting? And how can you make better use of that time? That may mean that when you get off of work, you don't drive 50 miles across town because you have a couple hours in between class. That may mean you stop at the local library or mean that you go ahead to campus and take that time and use that time to study and to get focused on the night's class. That also may mean that depending on if you're commuting to work and where the kids are, that the kids are going to campus with you. We don't know what that looks like because when we have kids, it's kind of hard to judge what that looks like, especially when we're running back and forth and trying to make things happen. But whatever that looks like, you have to really consider, am I making the best use of the time that I have? Is it really necessary that I drive 50 miles back across town to get to home, only to stay there for 20, 30 minutes and then drive another 30, 40 miles to get to college campus? So we really have to look at it, manage your time, find that balance where it works for you. All the unnecessary stuff, we shouldn't have to do that. Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi is everywhere we look. Everywhere we look. So if the kids are having to go to the college campus with you because maybe they can't stay at home alone, or you don't want them at home alone, or maybe because your class goes late and you don't have anyone to kind of look out to make sure they're well, you do what you have to do for you. Balance that time out. And don't be afraid to ask other people for help. Don't be afraid to ask a neighbor or a family member to help in some of those tight spaces of time where it's just pulling you a little bit too far and taking you a little bit off track of what your end goal is. Because it's not so much about the things that are right now that are pressing as it is down the line. So trust people and allow other people to help you, even if it's another teenager that has a license, or if it's a elderly neighbor or elderly church member or something that is willing to step in and kind of help you in some of those tight spaces. You know, not every day is a tight crunch for time, but there may be 1 or 2 days a week that you're really pressed for time, or that you can really use the assistance of somebody else to help cut down on that. All right, so career. In our jobs, you know, sometimes we're forced to work overtime, or sometimes, you know, there's other demands that are placed upon us with the job that interfere with our education. And so, guys, this is where communication is going to be important. You know, sometimes we put more into our jobs than we do into investing in ourselves. And so we need to communicate what our needs are to our employer. So that means that if they're asking you to work overtime or working these extra shifts and things like that, and you know it just does not fit, or it's stretching you a little bit too far, you need to communicate that. You need to communicate that. And I know a lot of times we feel like, you know, we can't do that. We need to do whatever the job wants us to do, or we might get fired. You know, we shouldn't work on a job worrying about whether or not we can get an education versus this job that we have that's temporary anyway. I mean, to me, that would be more like a slave or control type tactics. And I don't know of anybody who cares about you that would not want you to better yourself and get that education. And most employers, they have programs and special funds and things like that that will assist you if you just communicate and ask the question. So if your job is a factor that is beginning to play a role in interfere with your education, then that's something you need to start communicating. Hey, I'm in college. I'm going trying to get a certain degree. Over time, it's just not really fitting in. Though, you know, you really have to know what works for you, what's best for you, and communicate that. And besides, guys, when we put that need for finances in front of time, more time with our children, more time to study, more time doing things that would benefit us most in the long run, then we're only hurting ourselves. So if we make the priorities, if we make the changes already when we look at our budget and look at our finances, that shouldn't even be a question when we go to look at our job. For a job that does not want you to improve your education, for a job that is going to hold you to want you to work overtime after you done already give them 40 hours for that week, I mean, come on, guys. What are your priorities? Is it the money, really? Because if it's the money, then go find you another job. There's going to be someone that's going to be willing to pay you just a little bit more, and plus give you the time you need for your education. So you really have to look at it for what it is. It's not easy balancing your career, college, and your children. It is not. But there's sacrifices that are going to have to be made. I've made them for years. I'm still making them. But for you guys with younger children, I have made it easy for you. I have made it easy for you so that you don't have to get here, your child going to college and then having to wonder, how am I going to juggle this? I put the plan right there in my book, Time to Talk. In the book, Time to Talk, there's a chapter on education, and it takes you step by step, year after year, to help prepare you for college. Financially, what you need to do, education-wise, all of that. So it helps you put the plan in place. Not only that, guys, it also helps you in the chapter about finances, help you start putting together a plan so that you can start using your money so that your money can work for you. Okay? And that's what it's all about. If college is a struggle, which I know it is financially, planning ahead is number one. But if you're like me and you didn't plan ahead, you didn't even know what a plan was, it can still be done, but it's going to take you some sacrifice. Now, I know that another thing that faces so many people who are in college is rent. Rent. To me, I think rent is the devil. I mean, the price of rent is just ridiculous. But many people are stuck paying rent because financially we did not have our stuff together. So financially, our credit is bad. Financially, we think we can't afford our own thing. Well, I tell you what, I raised my children, 2 young women, as a single parent in a mobile home. And guys, I did it. I owned it. And I didn't have to worry about spending money out on rent. Okay? And it served its purpose. It served us well. Not only that, it served many other families after us. And so, guys, you really have to think about what's important. Many people are RVing and using campers, and they're selling their old ones and they're buying new ones. So you can always spend that refund money that you get every year. You can spend that on a $2,500 camper trailer or something like that and put it on a lot somewhere. Save yourself tons of money a month by not having to pay rent on something that you own. You can sit it in your mama's or grandmama's backyard. Whatever it is you have to do, it's all about, at the end of the day, what's important to you, what sacrifices are you willing to make for you and your family, what that looks like. We're living in a world we can't live out the rest of our lives trying to people please and try to live in this and that, trying to appease everybody else. Sacrifices have to be made. And if that's important to you, if rent is what's killing you, if you don't want to live with somebody else and share the cost and have somebody else's kids around and taking care of each other and making those sacrifices together, hey, purchase you a used mobile home, purchase you a used camper, whatever it takes. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen. Wherever you can cut the costs and do what you need to do and still survive and not have to worry about whether or not having to work overtime and more time away from your family, whatever that looks like, do it. Do it. Because no matter what it looks like now, it's what it's going to look like later down the road that's going to matter the most. All right? So, look for scholarships, guys. Scholarships are all over the place. You have nonprofits that offer scholarship. You have businesses that offer scholarships. Talk to people. Don't be afraid. Like I said, my book, Time to Talk, it lays it all out. It tells you where to find the money. Not only that, there's things on the market every day, books, resources, YouTube, all over the place telling you where to find money for college. Okay, make it happen. All right, guys. That is my take. That is my spin. Learn how to cook. That's where most of our money go. Most of our money go on food and our flashy stuff that we like to look so good. I mean, I don't know any other way to tell it. All right, guys. So it was good being here with you tonight. I hope I gave you some good practical, simple solutions that you can implement. And remember, it's whatever that works for you. I can't tell you what to do. I can just offer some suggestions out there. And hopefully it stimulates your creative mind to get out there and figure it out. All right, I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m.